Hey guys, Dumb Orange 927 here. Here with me, guys, I have Dusk Under 9.
What's up, guys?
And today we're going to discuss something very depressing and very sad. We have learned that Halo 5 has the lowest sales in Halo history out of all the main games. And now we're going to discuss how disturbing this is. We're going to discuss how this might have happened. And most importantly, we're going to discuss how to avoid this with Halo 6, because we really want Halo to be successful, but, this is BS. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. So, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much just Halo 5 had the lowest sales out of any Halo, with only like 1.5 million physical copies, while every other Halo game had like up in the 3 millions.
Well, Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4.
Even Halo 4 had freaking more sales than it by a lot.
Okay, guys, we are to determine the population accordingly, but think of this. If there are this few sales, this has to reflect population as well.
Because there's not as many people playing, because not as many bought it, plus all these new games that already came out, which made people leave. Like, I'm actually willing to check on the Xbox, the place where you can check what is the most populated games, and see where Halo 5 is right now.
I'm curious if it's even on the list.
Because if it's not on the top 10 list, I don't want to start being a downer, but this is going to be a dying game. This is a dying game, and it's like, you can't... The population and sales are just so low. It's not not the population, because I don't really know the population.
We don't have direct proof, but think of it, guys. Like I said, population usually has to be at least the amount of copies. Think of it, people.
Yeah, and plus, we already know that at most there could be 1.5 million people playing the game right now. Considering the fact that so many new games came out, so many people left, there's probably maybe like a bunch of people that left, which probably leaves very little people playing the game.
Don't get me wrong, it's not literally population issues. It's not like suffering the same problem like MCC, but it's like it's still not really good, and it's like it's showing that less people are playing Halo, which is bad for the sake of this franchise.
It came out like a month ago. For a game that came out a month ago, it has pretty low populations. Now, obviously, it's not like dead or anything. It's not like you're going to have trouble finding a match. It still has high populations, but considering the fact that it came out a month ago, it probably doesn't have the highest populations out of most games right now. Like, considering that, all these new Black Ops and Battlefront probably took most of it,
Well, yeah, like, we have new games out, and what's ironic is that this franchise, or this game, more specifically, is just like, the population is going downhill, and it's just like, why? It's depressing, honestly. I'm a hardcore Halo fan. I've loved Halo for a long time, and like I said, it's just like, I love Halo to death, but how could this happen? But the question is there, and now we're going to do our best to answer it. So, yeah.
Well, there's many reasons why Halo 5 didn't get as many sales. Probably, like, one of the main reasons, in my opinion, it didn't get many sales, and this isn't really reflecting on the overall problems of the game, but I was actually wary of this before the game even came out. I thought that, coming off two I don't want to say really bad games, because the MCC wasn't really bad, it just had a failed launch, but coming off very disappointing games, I thought that a lot of those Halo fans are just done with the series, and a lot of them are going to leave, so when Halo 5 comes out, I don't think many people are going to be buying it. At least as the predecessors would have, when the Halo community was at its strong point, you would get like 3.5 million sales. But when you have like two bad games with the MCC and Halo 4 and all that, there's going to be a population drop off on how many people actually buy the next installment. Because not many people are going to be like, want that,
And what's even worse is that, Halo 5 has no insane big issue, like an issue that's game breaking. Like Halo 4, it was the multiplayer. With Halo MCC, it was the failed launch. Those were the big things that broke the game. But when it comes with this game, there's no one thing that makes it fail, but it's a collection of multiple small things that adds up together. It's like taking multiple weights that don't weigh much on their own, but when you stack them on top of each other, they're gonna be heavy. And Halo 5 failed to lift that weight.
Yeah, because there isn't like one thing that I could say is game breaking. Whenever a new issue resurfaced with the game, like all I would ever hear, and this is from you, Dumb Orange, too. Like, okay, this was a long time ago, I know this, but like whenever something bad came out, I was like, that's not game breaking. It's an issue, but it's not game breaking. But when you have like 10 different issues that, yes, they're not completely game breaking on their own, but when you have a bunch of them, it comes down to be a pretty bad, issue altogether.
And what is even worse is just like, okay, so let's start with probably like, what was probably the first thing that turned off most Halo fans with this game? What was probably the first thing where they're like, oh crap, this game bad?
Probably around split screen, because they didn't have split screen and everyone was just like, really? That's not characteristic of Halo.
It isn't characteristic of Halo, honestly. It's like, Halo was known for split screen. Like, 343, are you freaking kidding me? You couldn't add in split screen. Okay, I understand your reasonings about the cloud server and junk, but if you knew that was going to sacrifice split screen, then why would you use the effing cloud server?
Yeah, because, there's many reasons that I love Halo, and one of them was split screen. Each game, to me, I have a different way I like to play it. And Halo is one of those games I want to hop on with a buddy and just play split screen. I don't really have many games anymore to do that with. Halo was supposed to be, like, one of the last ones, and it's not anymore. Like, the only game I have is Black Ops 3, but I only have one other controller and stuff. It's just not fun anymore. Split screen. It's just, Halo's done with, at least
split screen's dead as far as we know it.
Yeah, split screen is not doing well. And if they don't bring it back in Halo 6, I'm going to rage. Like, as soon as I see there's no split screen in Halo, if there's no split screen in Halo 6, I'm not kidding, I will tear it apart. Because I mentioned it, and, everyone kept defending it, but I mentioned it and sort of got pissed about it, but I wasn't, like, raging. I wasn't, like, rage quitting Halo because of it, but I just want it back.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Next thing, and this is big one, delay of every single big mode that we ever had. No big team battle until 3 weeks later. We don't even have Forge yet, and okay, I don't care if you personally like Forge or not. I don't care. Okay, don't say, hey, I can wait because I don't use Forge that often. We don't care, because the thing is, Forge isn't just something that affects Forgers. It's something that affects the community as a whole. It unites the Halo community. Custom games and Forge were literally peanut butter and jelly. They were meant to go together. Now, basically, 343 said when they were making their beloved sandwich, a sandwich that us as community members were meant to eat, they're like, hey, let's take out the jelly and just have a peanut butter sandwich. That tastes, freaking disgusting as heck.
Yeah, and, like, there's games, they're gonna have rocky developments. You're not gonna fit everything in a game, but when you freaking miss this much, when you miss 2 giant modes that made Halo great, that is not good. Like, I don't mind, like, maybe one thing that's not that big being out of the game, but Big Team Battle, which is one of the most favorited Halo modes in Halo history, and then you have Forge, which is beloved by so many people. As you said, even if you don't like Forge, imagine what people could do with it. People could have community playlists and stuff, and think about it. The Halo community for machinima making is already kind of dead, considering that you really can't play as elites or anything. But then when you consider that it took, like, like 2 months till December to get Forge, and it's not even here yet, guys, so...
you know how 343 was constantly saying, hey, if you don't like the Spartan abilities, you don't like Sprint, you could turn them off in custom games? Well, what use is that if you can't even build your own maps to, have maps designed with no Sprint or abilities?
Because if you do that with these maps that they build around the mobility, you're going to be, like, feeling like it's Ghost or something, because you won't find people because it takes forever, and you can't build your own maps around the way you want to play because there's no Forge, so it's kind of bad,
Yes, very bad. And okay, so people will defend this, going like, who cares? I barely touched Big Team Battle. Hey, I touched 4. Regardless if you prefer use it that much or not, it is a big part of the community. And even then, if you don't care about those big modes, let's think of all the modes Halo is missing. No King of the Hill, no Oddball, no Infection, no Griffball, no... What else? I'm trying to think here.
There's
No
invasion.
Firefight, no Invasion, no... There's no... They don't even return, what's the mode called? Dominion. And that was introduced 1 game ago.
And okay, maybe there'll be a lack of new modes, but when you take out old modes, that's what pisses me off. What happens to all these bonus playlists, like Infection, like all of that fun stuff? Everything. Seriously. And then not only do they have a lack of modes, but they pass modes on for actual modes when they're just variants of other crap.
Like, Breakout is really just a variant of CTF.
And then you pass Warzone Assault to being a majorly different mode. And now that I think about it, if you can just take out like the AI and stuff and add in different things, why the crap didn't they introduce Firefight? You know, if you can just do this, then why didn't they? And seriously,
Because it would cost money and they don't want to spend money, they just try and make it cheap.
I know, it's just I don't want this to be the way it's supposed to go because this is laziness. You know, not only is Big Team Battle and Forge delayed, but all these modes aren't in the game. I don't know if they didn't have enough time, if it took too long, if it was too much money, or what. But seriously, even though it had one of the early release dates for the games this year, you still had a good 3 years to freaking make a game, and you only put together 5 playlists. That is sad.
I am just gonna say, there is no way this game has been developed for 3 years. Okay, there may have been a 3-year gap between 4 and 5, but there is no way they spent all 3 of their years working on Halo 5.
Because if they did, there would be a lot more content than what they had. This doesn't look like a game that was made in 3 years. This looks like it was a game that was slapped together in like 1 year, pretty much.
Well, it does. Like, it's stupid. Like, oh my goodness. Like, 343, have you even played, like, Halo Reach or something? Halo Reach had nearly double the amount of content that Halo 3 had, and they had a 3-year development. While this has one of the shortest content ever since, like, dang Halo 1.
I know, it's just sad, like, seriously. And it just, you know, if they acknowledged that the game had a lack of content, I would sort of be, like, I'd still be pissed, but it'd be, like, understandable.
But they don't.
They don't acknowledge it. And matter of fact, they make content look like content when it's not even content. Like, they pass on different maps that have different colors or whatever, different stuff like that. They use 3 different missions just walking around doing nothing, calling them missions. That's not content. That's just lying and saying it's content. That's not
and
real.
It's bullcrap. Like, no offense, it's like Warzone. Like, okay, and here's what 343 will use to prevent us from suing them: technicality. Well, technically, it has 21 maps if you count Forge variants and remixes. Well, technically, we have 6 Warzone maps if you count the same one twice, as long as it has different lighting. Well, technically nothing. Technicality is stupid. Seriously. And you know the campaign 343 said that would be twice as long as Halo 4 with non-linear design, with literally the biggest Halo scale campaign to date.
It's not. It's okay. I'm not saying the game is linear, but it's not that big, honestly.
It's bigger than Halo 4. That's it.
Yeah, it's bigger than Halo 4, which it's an improvement, but it's not like anything good. And I honestly, I don't want to be offensive, but I don't really like the squad level design. Like, it's not bad, but when you're playing solo, it's just kind of lame, you know. I want the old Halo design.
Well, yeah, this really felt like that belonged in Spin Up, but that's personal preference. But the point is, it's like it's still somewhat a linear design, so they were lying about the biggest scale Halo.
And
they
technically was the biggest Halo game yet because it had twice the amount of missions of Halo 4, but the missions were short. Very short. You could beat this game in like 4 hours if you're playing on like normal.
4 hours.
And not just that, you had 3 of those missions that were not really missions. They were just like those
Walking
non-combat-
around.
Yeah, walking
You could have
around
put it in a
missions.
cutscene.
Like, I don't mind non-combat missions, but don't call them missions. Add them into a combat mission so they're like, it makes up for those non-combat missions. Seriously, don't say they're missions when they're not.
Make it part of the same mission.
Yeah, just add it on to the combat mission.
It's BS. It's like, what? Like, seriously, it's... Are you kidding me? And there's not even anything to do in the non-combat missions. It's like, you would think at least by having that... Okay, this is one thing I actually give BO3 credit for, is that at least in their non-combat missions, it's a safe house. And you can actually customize and look up stuff. And it's a lot of cool stuff. Does Halo 5 have that? Heck no. Because it would cost extra resources and management.
That's not even a non-combat mission. That's just a place you can go to customize your stuff too. So it's just like... It's not even considered a mission when you go to the safe house. So it's like, they use this stuff as just technicalities to get by. Like, the game is already lacking content, even if you include those technicalities. But when you take away the stuff that's not even content, this game is bare bones. Like,
It almost felt like, okay, this is much bigger than what I'm about to say overall, but it almost felt like a beta to me.
okay, it's a big beta. It's obviously has like the campaign and stuff, but it's like when you played that multiplayer beta, you played a good amount of those modes that was actually in the final product of the game. Like, you didn't play them all.
Like, unless if you're just buying this game for Warzone or just wanting to play more of that arena, if you were not satisfied with the arena gameplay and that was all you're interested in, then there is nothing this game's going to put in to change your mind, because it's basically the same amount of content. And that's the thing. I wasn't pissed off in the beta back in December because I was thinking,
There'll be more.
there'd be a lot more. There'd be like, okay, this is cool. You know, it's just a small amount of the overall content we're going to get.
But really, it's like, that was a good at least 3/4 or half. You know, it was a lot of the content. They just put a lot in there because they wanted to make it look like there will be a lot in the game, when there's not, honestly.
This is freaking ridiculous. And now, next, like, in the campaign, not only is it a criminally almost one of the shortest Halo campaigns ever, but what's even worse is that the story was misleading, and I would dare say even, what's the word called?
Illegal?
No, it's not illegal, but false advertising.
Yeah, false advertising. Because seriously, okay, we're not gonna get into the story at all because we've done that in past videos. But it wasn't what it was supposed to be. Like, seriously, it was completely non-advertised.
The advertisements, the truth campaign, none of it matters. None of it is even in the freaking game. Which means all the emotions you put into this story before it even came out, none of it is there. Okay, Chief is never presumed a traitor. Locke is never sent to hunt him down directly. Okay, yes, he's there to get him, but it's like... Locke doesn't find him a traitor. No one finds Chief a traitor. Chief never leaves or goes rogue or goes AWOL. In fact, the conflict between Chief and Locke could have been resolved in 5 minutes if Chief just spent the time to talk to Locke.
They could have just been like, oh, this is a misunderstanding, now let's go kill bad guys. They didn't have to draw this out. Matter of fact, dude, the freaking Hunt the Truth, this marketing campaign, is 10 times better of a story than was actually in the game.
And that's saying something, considering it was just ads. It wasn't
even... The trailers provided better story than what they actually put in this game, for gosh sakes. That is not good at all.
It's bullcrap. And I'm sorry, like, okay. Like I said, I know who wrote this story, Brian Reed. Get out of Halo. Get out. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean to you, but you are not good at writing Halo. Get out. Get out of 343 and let a better writer take on this franchise's story. Please.
Yeah, 343, there's either one or two things you need to do. You need to ask him just to resign, or just plain fire the dude, because he is garbage at writing Halo. I don't want to be offensive, but if this is what he thinks a good story is, then he probably should go back to writing comics. because this is bad. This is very bad. It's just not good. I don't know what else to say, honestly.
There's really no way around it.
Yeah, there's nothing else. There's not really a way to defend it. You can't defend the fact that this was not the way it was advertised. It's just not the way that I think Halo should be written, and it was just not a very well-designed story.
But that, like I said, all this adds up in microtransactions to where everything is random, to where individual achievement doesn't even matter.
Because seriously, okay, microtransactions are tolerable with getting random loot, but when everything you ever get is random, when there's nothing to earn...
Even armor.
Armor. There's no armor that you can actually earn. You have to get it in there. So, like, when someone says, oh, dude, how'd you get that sick armor? Oh, I just got it in a rec pack. That's lame. Anyone can get it in a rec pack if you're lucky. A level 1 dude who just hopped on the game today could get a sick armor just from being lucky. Well, a dude who's been playing for, like, a few years... Okay, the game has not been out for years, but say it's years later. For a few years, probably could never have gotten that armor if they opened 100 rec packs.
And it's all bullcrap because... Okay, Angry Joe made an analysis where, okay, there's 340 cosmetics in the game, I think. So, according to that, it usually takes someone around 2 hours to unlock one gold pack. And one gold pack gets you 2 of those cosmetics. So, let's think for a second. If you divide 340 by 2, that is, one...
That's,
I don't know, whatever the math.
It's 160, I believe.
Yeah, 160. No, 170. 170.
Yeah,
So, 170, and you take that 2 hours. 2 hours, you get 2. So, you get 170 by 2. So, okay, so there's 2 hours by 170.
Wait, 2 hours? What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm trying to do the math of how long it would take to unlock all the cosmetic. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot do the math right now. Just look up Angry Joe's video. Look up Angry Joe's review and he'll explain it, okay? In fact, maybe we'll even put a post in the description below. His link. But, okay, despite that, I just heard it takes an insanely long time to unlock all the cosmetics, which is true. And... it's like probably the armor you want the most is probably gonna like be the one that takes forever to unlock unless if you're insanely lucky. And it's not even fair the way you unlock it because it's not like you worked your A off to unlock it by doing a cool accomplishment or spending a certain amount of credits. No, you just get it because you're lucky. In a nutshell, I say in quote, because like so much for that individual achievement. None of the armor even has meaning.
I know, for like different games, different accomplishments mean a lot. Like in Call of Duty, if you get every gun gold, which takes a crap ton of time and accomplishment, you get the diamond camo, and you're considered really good. And that's awesome, but in Halo 5, there really is nothing that you can have a good accomplishment for. There's nothing like, I worked so hard, spent months of my time playing this game to earn this specific thing. There's nothing. You could say, oh, I spent 2 hours trying to earn a rec pack, and I got this thing. That's all you can ever really say in Halo 5, because that's all you ever do. All you ever do is earn rec packs, and if you're lucky, you'll get something good. But most of the time, you don't even. So it's just like...
like, you shouldn't... okay, I'm just saying, random things should be removed from gaming, period. It is not... okay, first off, it is anti-capitalism with a game community. Because a game community, a good game community, rewards individual achievement upon what player actions have been made. Meaning, when someone unlocks a sweet armor, that should represent the skill or at least the time played of how hard they had to work.
And like, okay, at this point I understand that random loot is a part of gaming, so I'm not going to say completely remove it from Halo, but at least make it where the armor, at least it's unlockable. Like
you can get it without the rec packs.
You don't have to get it through rec packs. I wanted to at least...
like you can, but you don't have to.
Or at least most of them. Like there's a few armor sets here and there that you can get in rec packs. But I would say at least 80% of them, while 20 is through rec packs, 80% of rec packs are earned in game. Well, the rest of the 20%, sure, whatever. Just put it in rec packs. I don't give a flying crap.
Or at least like variations of the same armor you get through normal unlocking, which I don't want to go back to Halo 4's unlock system either, because with Halo 4 it was just like once when you reach the required rank you automatically unlock it. I didn't really like that either. So I think it should go back to Halo Reach's credit system, where you have a certain amount, like a piece of armor costs a certain amount of credits, you spend it and you get cool armor.
Yeah, that's how I wish it would work. Matter of fact, yeah, Black Ops 3 has that same system. I just realized that. But I like that system. It's actually a really good system, and I think they should implement that system. Like, I realize that now that a lot of games, or at least used to, I know BO3 does it, and Black Ops 2, I believe, did it. When you, every time you rank up, you get credits, and then you use those to buy whatever you want. And that's how it should work. You shouldn't, you definitely shouldn't be able to get in rec packs. You definitely should not. Because that's just plain random loot that's...
It's all about luck. That's all it's about, okay? I'm just saying.
And we all know that they're only doing this for money. Like, seriously, we all know that the only reason random loot even exists, primarily, is just so they can sell, like, rec packs or supply drops or whatever the crap they do nowadays. It's just... It sucks.
It does suck. And it's just like, this combined with missing content, lack of key modes that allowed Halo's community to be strong, lack of a long and interesting campaign, and overall a microtransaction set where it removes a lot of the cool ways someone progresses in a game. And 343 wonders why barely anyone is playing this game anymore.
Guys, Halo 5 is a fun game, but it has many flaws, and we're not here to rant on Halo 5. We're here to make Halo 6 better, but we have to understand, guys, you have to hurt a game to make it better. I'm sorry. You can't just keep defending everything that's bad. You can't, okay? Understand that this game has flaws and just embrace it. Embrace the fact that you can help make the Halo series better, because defending the game,
it's gonna get you nowhere.
You might think that that's helping the franchise, defending what's bad about it. You might think that's helping the franchise, but in the long run, it's hurting it. It's just hurting it, because they will never know to do better. You need
it's like a frog. It's like they're gradually making the game worse and worse and worse by terms of just, the amount of things that makes it great as a Halo game. It's like a stove. It's like putting a frog in that stove. If you instantly turn it all the way to the max volume, the frog's gonna jump out. But if you slowly turn it gradually and get it hotter and hotter and hotter, gradually, the frog isn't gonna realize he's being burnt up, and then that frog is gonna die. Guess what, people? We as the Halo community are that frog. And 343 is representing the person controlling the stove. We need to realize what they're doing so we can jump out of that pot before it kills us. And more importantly, jump out of that pot before this kills the Halo franchise.
Because, guys, you have to understand, and there's no denying it, the Halo series and community of Halo is...
It's dying.
It's dying, okay? I'm using the D word at this point. It's dying, and we need to fix it, because this is desperation. This is Hail Mary. Throw the ball and catch it in the end zone, because we need Halo series to come back. We need this franchise to excel again, but it's not looking very good. And guys, defending the series is not going to help you. I thought the same way too with every game.
Especially with me, I thought the same way. And I gave 343 a chance to learn. Halo 4, I understood. It was their first game. I understood there was going to be problems with it. Halo MCC, I understood. It was just a failed launch. But we gave the franchise, or the developers, the benefit of the doubt. And this is how we're rewarded. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Can't you see? It does not help. It only makes the series worse, before it eventually reaches its final dying breath and then stops breathing.
Because, guys, Halo, I'm not going to go in with the benefit of the doubt anymore. You know, I'm not gonna say, oh, Halo 6 will be better, because I don't know that. I said that with Halo 4. I'm like, yes, Halo 4 had flaws, but you know, Halo 5 will be better. I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
And this is how we're rewarded.
So I'm not doing this again, 343. Like, this is my last straw. Honestly, I am tempted just to completely leave. I am tempted. I'm not going to. I still love Halo, but...
We love what made Halo great. What Bungie understood. And if you can't understand that, well, I'm sorry. Then you're not worthy of the mantle of obtaining Halo.
The mantle of responsibility. You're not worthy, 343. And this is just like, it's... I just think 343 is sort of just like, it's not... All joking aside, it's not really... It's not, I don't know. It's not right.
Well, okay. It's just we, as fans, we need to end this schism. We're in, like... Fans who are in denial. I understand most fans defending this nowadays are new fans of the generation, but they don't understand what made Halo great. So now this is turning into a schism. We must end this. When we joined the Halo community, we took an oath, according to our stations, all without exception. On the blood of our fathers, on the blood of our sons, we swore to uphold Halo community. Even to our dying breath. Those who would break this oath are heretics, worthy of neither pity nor mercy. Even now they use the Lord's creation to broadcast their lies. We must grind them into dust and continue our march to glorious salvation.
Yeah, so this, like, we just need 343 to understand. We need all the Halo fans out there to understand, to stop always giving them the benefit of the doubt. So stop pre-ordering. Stop. Because at the time we were like, you know, Halo 5, we know this is gonna be a good game. We know it. We knew it from the day one. That's what we thought. We were like, pre-ordering, it's not gonna hurt. And we pre-order and we get greeted with very little content.
I don't care if you're gonna buy the game anyways. Don't pre-order. Because we need to give the message to 343.
I've been disappointed too many times. And I'm not letting this happen again. So, guys, just please don't pre-order the game.
If you love Halo, you will not pre-order any future Halo titles. We must show 343 here and now that we are not a community to be messed with. 343 must be punished for their actions. And not as a way as out of anger and hate, though I wouldn't blame any of you if that was your primary intentions, but to make 343 better. To make it a better studio, to make them better at making Halo. And if we let them continue to shortchange us, then this will continue. And it will only get worse from here. And only together can we stop this. We must stand united as a community. We may disagree as a community in lots of things, but one thing we should agree on is that we can't let developers shortchange us. We can't let them purposely cut content, purposely do all this just because they think we'll let them do it. We must show them that we won't let them do it. And show them, more importantly, that we will fight.
We're not going to let Halo be a blood sacrifice for Microsoft to sell Xbox Ones. We are going to make Microsoft be a blood sacrifice to save Halo. We're not going to let Halo die just for more money to go to Microsoft. If anything, we will help Halo. We will make it where Halo one day will come back to its former glory. But right now, it's not. And the only way we can fix this is with you guys. With the Halo community needs to all come together. Stop fighting. Stop.
Stand united.
And together, only together, will this franchise be saved. This is Delma Orange 927, and peace out, guys.